Chair Ernst, Ranking Member Markey, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to discuss GAO's work on small business administration programs. SBA's mission is to help Americans start, grow, and build small businesses. Today, I'd like to discuss opportunities we've identified for SBA to improve management of fraud risks, improper payments, and contracting programs to better meet that mission in the future. And my testimony draws on recommendations from GAO reports in these areas since the spring of 2020. So I'll begin with opportunities to better manage fraud risks and improper payments that surfaced during the pandemic. SBA moved quickly to set up programs to respond to the pandemic's economic shock, and altogether it made or guaranteed more than $1 trillion in loans and grants and assisted more than 10 million small businesses. But the speed of those loan approvals came at the expense of oversight and fraud risk management, especially early on. Our work uncovered several weaknesses, such as heavy reliance on self-certification and pay and chase approaches, rather than putting stronger upfront safeguards in place against fraud and other improper payments. So where SBA has acted on our recommendations, we've seen some clear improvements. It's conducted fraud risk assessments and put controls in place to prevent funding from going to potential fraudsters or ineligible applicants. And as of the end of fiscal year 2025, we estimate that improved oversight saved the government at least $30 billion. All that being said, fraud risks and improper payments didn't disappear with the end of the public health emergency. SBA's pandemic programs still involve large numbers of loans and grants being reviewed, monitored, and serviced. Because of that, SBA needs to continue strengthening its safeguards. For example, by expanding its use of data analytics for detecting fraud, strengthening post-award monitoring, and improving processes for referring potential fraud cases to its Inspector General. In addition, SBA should enhance its capacity to identify and track overpayments and subsequent recoveries. I also want to emphasize that the lessons learned about fraud risk management from SBA's pandemic programs do remain relevant for the agency's other programs. For example, the pandemic programs highlighted the importance of conducting robust fraud risk assessments. And we've reported recently on weaknesses in fraud risk assessments by agencies participating in small business research programs. And we identified steps SBA can take through its oversight role to help improve the quality of those assessments should those programs be reauthorized. Our work has also underscored the value of robust internal controls and quality data for detecting bad actors and ineligible applicants. We've reported recently on weaknesses in the data systems that SBA uses to certify its small businesses' eligibility for contracting assistance programs. And while we didn't specifically examine those systems through the lens of fraud risk management, a more secure, reliable system for validating, maintaining, and disseminating information about program eligibility would clearly help reduce risks. Finally, in June, the SBA administrator announced a review of fraud in the 8A Business Development Program following a Department of Justice investigation that you've discussed involving bribery and businesses participating in the 8A program. Applying the lessons that SBA learned about fraud risk management in its pandemic programs could be applied to support this effort as well. So, bottom line, with a more robust system of internal controls and fraud risk management, SBA would be better placed to support small businesses, both during normal times and in future emergencies, while also ensuring that taxpayer dollars go where they should. So this concludes my opening remarks, and thank you again for the opportunity to speak here today.